Hello everyone, and welcome back to this Lord of the Rings Minecraft mod adventure. I'm LeftClick, and we are headed to Lamadon, which is a small fiefdom in Gondor. We decided to cheat our way over there by crossing the White Mountains, which don't seem that perilous. Not many Mordor orcs are accosting us. The mountains themselves are not super high, just like they're not as high as the Misty Mountains, and they have a lot of flat areas and valleys to go through. So they're not that bad to cross, and they're not in this section we pass through right here. There's only maybe like 1,000 blocks wide, maybe 2,000 blocks wide. Not that bad, and we're on a horse, so even better. But we're gonna go to Lamadon, and then from here, maybe not to Dora and Arneal. I don't know, but we're gonna check out Lamadon first. I think that's what we're gonna do. And maybe if we go to Lamadon, maybe there might be Mordor orcs that spawn. And if so, we'll defend the Gondorians and get some progress on the quests we have in the top left along the way. So hey, that's like 3 birds with 1 stone. We get to explore, we get to protect the people, our allies, and we get to do quests. And here are the Lamadon folk. Hey, friend. It's a shame you could not have come to Gondor in happier days. I mean, these are happy enough days. I like your hat, sir. I like your nice gray hat. And you are another Lamadon Hillman. So the Lamadon Hillmen are, I guess, sort of like levies in terms of power and stuff. The old two men of Elendil named Hafirian Zentarahan. Oh, wow. So 500 years ago is when the casket of Elendil was sent over. Elendil died thousands of years before this. Like, I think 3,000 years before the modern day. The modern day being the time of the War of the Ring, which is what's happening concurrently with this whole playthrough, essentially. Hello, horsies. Let's go past the Lamadon Hills, because I think maybe, if that says Lamadon Hillmen, I have a suspicion that Lamadon Hillmen only spawn in Lamadon, and maybe they don't spawn. Well, they only spawn in Lamadon Hills, and maybe in Lamadon proper they don't spawn. And that horse is going places. I'm going to steal my saddle back in case it runs away on me. You stay around there, and I'm going to investigate this. What a peculiar sight this is. Is there anything down here? Man, I've seen these places, and they don't seem to have anything below them. It's really weird. It's like a tumulus, or burial mound, rather. Come on, horse. Let's keep going. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Life isn't all that grim. We just gotta get past the hills, and we should find better passage. There's more Lamadon Hillmen. Hello, friends. How are you doing? Yada yada. Much better than the Rudar Hillmen. And whoa, hold on. What is this bird? Oh, that bird is like a blue jay. Oh, that's super cool looking. I like it a lot. I just like birds, man. I actually do bird watching in my spare time, like in real life. And man, we have a lot of blue jays around here. Also, just a crap ton of cardinals. Cardinals are just everywhere. I haven't seen any cardinals in this mod. Like, really bright red birds. That'd be something cool to add. That's a very minor change. Like, hey, add this bird to the mod. Like, I don't think that's a high priority on the mod maker's list right now. But it'd be nice to see a few. It'd be nice to see a few more bird species. I think maybe what I might do is I might want to try and now document all the birds we've seen. I mean, there's obviously blackbirds. There's white dove. Well, I guess blackbirds are crows, so we have crows. The crebine from Dunland, which are big, like big-ass crows. More like ravens than anything else. So we have crows, doves, bluebirds. We may have redbirds, but I think those were robins. I don't know. I'll have to double check. I think we had redbirds. It's butterfly. Hello, butterfly. Donkeys. Ooh. That's fun. Donkeys basically perform the same function as ponies, so why would we even bother getting a donkey if we have Shire ponies? Alright, so maybe we'll find some actual Lamadon soldiers. You guys are not Lamadon soldiers. You're an old man with a gambeson and an axe. Not really the best elite troops you're bringing here, Lamadon. I was expecting some real hard hitters, some real biscuit boxers, as one would say. Ooh, white horse. I'm partial to white horses. And not just because I'm racist, it's because Shadowfax is a white horse, and Shadowfax is cool. I'm not saying that white horses are intrinsically better than other colors, I just think that Shadowfax who is Gandalf's horse, happen to be white. And so, that's just cool, in my opinion. Oh, here we go. Here's some true soldiers. Lamadon warrior. There we go. I really like their Lamadon shields. Oh, they look like they look like really good Viking Age shields. Their swords not as their spears not as much, but they have chainmail and stuff. Oh man, I really want one of those shields. A Gondorian renegade. Those exist? Dang, Gondorian renegade. I wonder how would I even recognize a Gondorian renegade? I don't know. Let's see. You have a cape. You're loyal to Gondor. Pretty neat. I love your shield. Man, I really want one of those shields. I'm gonna find one eventually. Mark my words. Mark my words. I'm gonna get so much alignment with Gondor. Gondor Levyman. Okay, so you're Gondor Levyman. So you're not the Hillmen of Lamadon. You're just people from Gondor chilling at this tower ruin. Was this where you were stationed? Is this where you're stationed now? It's kind of lame. Oh, look at the stars. Ah, so beautiful. I haven't looked up whether the stars in the Middle-earth sky in this mod align with the star constellations in actual Middle-earth, or if they correspond to real life. I think one way to test this is to go up, once we get past some of these trees, is to go up on a hill and look north and see if we can find Ursa Minor. It seems like we already have a chance to do so on this rock right here, and there is some kind of fortress over in the distance. Let's check that out once we investigate these constellations. So this is north. The North Star should be like up a ways, shouldn't it? Yeah, I don't see any. Yeah, I can't recognize it. Yeah, I can't find Polaris anywhere. Maybe it's because we're too far south in the southern hemisphere. In that case, we'd have to look for Orion's belt. Problem is, I don't remember where Orion's belt is, so I can't look for it. So we're just going to go to the fortress. Maybe the Middle-earth constellations and this whole exercise was for nothing, which is very possible. So this seems to be a Lamadon fortress. I believe regular Gondorian fortresses, they are made using, yeah, this is Lamadon fortress. So regular Gondorian fortresses are made using, I think, black rock here. These are just regular stones. And you'll see that the banners held aloft aren't the Gondorian banners we saw before, that are black and have the crown of Elendil on top of the tree. These are navy blue with brown edges, and they don't have the crown of Elendil. So it seems like each sort of fiefdom has its own fortress, which is something to remember. What do you have in here? Gondorian chestplate and a saddle. Hey, that's pretty good. Let's throw our apple in there. Tools and armor. Man, we are getting so much armor. We might almost have a Gondorian set by the time we leave this place. That would be pretty fun. Hold on. Yeah, wait. Why do we have a cracked stone brick here? Let's get that out of here. There's a table of command. Alright. It seems our Dalish alignment is decent in Rivendell, and it is incredibly good in the Ettenmoors. It's like 43. It's not that. Actually, it's not that good. We should start going maybe over here to the southwest. So let's grab our horse. Well, actually, before we do that, let's see if we can go towards the bridge. Like this bridge over here. I want to see what's on the other side of this fortress. There's a Lamadon captain. That's pretty dope. Alright. There's a door to the bridge. Let's check out this tower guard. Let me just say, I love the tower guard helmets. The fact that they have these swan feathers is so nice. And I think we have to make one for a quest, although I think it has to be a full durability to count for the quest. So let's scoot down here, grab our horse, and vamonos. Maybe we'll loot a Yeah, maybe we'll loot a Tower Guard helmet, although I doubt they appear in common loot since they are meant for this, like, elite guard of the beacons. So I don't know. I'll have to check that out. Hmm. Let's see. Let's keep going through Lamadon. It seems to have a lot of trees, which, I mean, I could be a fan of, but that also means there's not a lot that spawns around here, which is unfortunate. Hey, bud. What you up to? Lamadon Hillman. Whatever. Um, hmm. We already took some time here. Why don't we go visit the White City? We got 2 minutes left. Pelennor Fields is, I believe, the um. I don't think there's an actual city built here, but I believe there is a wall surrounding the Pelennor Fields that protects the townlands. And so I want to see if that wall changed because, as we know, the Isengard wall. According to one of my previous commenters, OG Critical Wookie 93, he mentioned that the old Isengard wall didn't used to be made out of Numenorian brick or black Numenorian brick. It used to be made out of just regular stone brick, at least to both of our recollection. I remember it being made of stone brick or something similar. So maybe the Gondorian wall also changed. Maybe it's made of just Gondorian white rock. That'd be pretty cool. I don't remember if it was made of Gondorian rock before. I have not. Honestly, Gondor isn't one of those biomes I visit that often. I think that's part of the reason why I put it off for so long to visit. But that might be part of the reason is that I just don't visit it. I mean, it's cool and they have pretty good armor and weapons, but I don't know. I just like Rohan a lot more. And when I'm already down south and I already have Rohan, I don't want to bother going to Gondor. That's just me, I guess. The fortresses are cool, but like, I don't know. I don't identify with Gondorian culture as much as Rohirric culture. And of course, if I'm being like an evil playthrough, I just stick to Dunland the whole time. Like, I don't mess with the orcs at all. Dunland is my home. And other evil races, well, quote unquote evil races of men. I don't think any race of man is, intrinsically evil in Lord of the Rings. They may have just been deceived into service, which is unfortunate. Okay, we're still in Lamadon, and we found another fortress. Maybe this has some good loot for us to discover. Maybe some quests to fulfill. That'd be nice. Get some quests, get those done. I still want to know, Gondorian renegades, are those a thing? I'll say some spawn of Mordor, easy peasy. Gondorian renegades, I've never heard of those before. That's wild. I am not excited to deal with those. Okay, Gondorian bow. Okay, so it's similar to like a Dalish longbow. It's got 100% draw speed and like 113% damage. Not as good as Elvish bows, obviously. Some more Lamadon soldiers, Lamadon hillmen. I do like the different. One thing I do respect about Gondor as a biome, and also with Dale, is the fact that they have different classes of warriors. Oftentimes, especially in the earlier versions of this mod, the combat units of the mod were designated as you had warriors and then you just had civilians. Like, for example, except for Mordor, every orc is a soldier, basically. In Rohan, for example, it hasn't really been updated, so you have just people, just civilians, and soldiers. Because I think that has to do with the martial culture of the Rohirrim, where every soldier isn't like a state-funded army. It's more of a sort of, you take up arms for your people and you're meant to have your own armor that may be passed on through generations. And it has to do with their association with the Anglo-Saxons. Gondor doesn't seem to be the case. With Gondor, it seems to be a state-funded military. For example, you have, well, although Gondor can be described as a kingdom, it's more like kind of like an empire, because it seems like different races of. Well, no, maybe I think it's more of a kingdom because all the Gondorians share a pretty common lineage, but they have state-sponsored armies. It seems where taxes are collected and they're distributed and paid for people. So you have a professional martial class of soldiers where you grow up being a soldier, especially if you're of noble birth. But then, it seems at least in this mod, I don't remember Gondorian military according to the books, but in this mod, it seems that you also have levymen, which are more of the Rohirric soldiers where might be given some light armor. Maybe they buy their own equipment, which is why they have Gambeson and just some axes to deal with, and don't have any shields. So they are just the typical, like, oh, I am drafted into service because Mordor is attacking my people, or maybe I want to sign up, but I haven't been trained to be a soldier my whole life, so I don't know how to properly, fight in chainmail, or I don't know how to use an axe, sword and shield. So they're just going to give me a long spear and axe. There we go. Spears in history are a very, very common weapon up until the late Renaissance, when they were sort of modified into the bardaget, billhook. I think, what is that other thing? Gisarm is a big thing too. These pole arms that have weird slashing blades. But the spear was used for so much history because it's so easy to use. To use a sword, you have to have a good amount of practice under your belt, and you need to really know what you're doing in order to be effective with it. And it's pretty close range. A spear, it pretty much has one move: thrust, and there it is. And as long as you don't really have to worry about edge alignment or anything else like that. You just take a spear, you point it at the enemy. And the fact that it has range means that if you're fighting a very, very experienced combatant, and he has maybe heavy armor, or maybe he has a sword, and you can keep him at bay despite your lack of experience. And also, spears don't take that much iron to make. Like, in our case, in this mod, spears only take 1 iron ingot to make, compared to a sword, which takes 2. And even then, these pikes that we have and long spears, they take 2 iron ingots, and it does take a little more wood to make. So they're basically like, sword staves. When in actuality, pikes would not have that big of a blade. I mean, pikes would only have a blade maybe like a foot long or so, which is about as long as like your typical dagger or long knife. So it seems that, spears, incredibly useful. So I guess it makes sense for these Lamadon levymen to have spears and axes. And probably the reason they have axes is because they're tools, so they probably brought an axe as a weapon, which kind of goes along with battle axe. Well, some of them actually carried battle axes, which are specialized for combat. So, I don't know. And also, the design of battle axes in this mod, I don't really agree with it, but I like the Rohirric battle axe a lot, and the runic battle axe. Oh, the runic battle axe and the runic bardaget, whatever you call it. I love the fact that the bardaget is like that. And what do we have here? It seems we have a peak that Minas Tirith is supposed to be built on. Remember how Erebor was a pre-generated mountain? It seems like this is also a pre-generated mountain for Minas Tirith to sit on. That's pretty cool. I really, really like that. I like how they added that. I wonder how tall it goes. Must go for a long time to be that big. Wow. I would love to see someone play this mod, this newest update, and build Minas Tirith on this and have the... Oh, geez. And have the concentric walls of the city go up and up and up and get narrower and narrower. And then maybe build the stone facade. Kind of like how in the movies they have this long bridge that cuts down and juts out from the city. I would love to see that too. Oh man, that'd be so cool. But in any case, we're going to go explore. It seems like the Pelennor fields are much greener than Lamadon, and much flatter too. Lamadon is more hilly and has more trees. So it might be more of the lumber sort of section, whereas this might be more having to do with horses or maybe trade. We have a watchtower in there. Let's check out and see this Gondorian watchtower. And it seems like the walls of the Pelennor fields are right around here. They seem very similar in structure to the Isengard walls. They seem to be made of Gondorian brick. Maybe Numenorian brick at the top? Yeah. I think that's Numenorian brick at the top. Wow. That's pretty cool. And there's the mountain of Minas Tirith from a distance. God, it's so big. I like it. It's weird how it's like chunky and conical. I feel like maybe the mod team could have made... I mean, it's probably within their wheelhouse to make mountains that vary in structure. Like Erebor, yeah, the chunky squat structure would work for that. Or Mount Doom, that would be a great look for Mount Doom, having this chunky mountain they have to go into. Yeah. And it seems like the wall extends to the edge of the White Mountains all the way around. I like that. That's pretty cool. Oh, and it's connected to the White Mountains. Okay, that's pretty neat. I like that. They really put a lot of effort into this mod, even including little things like this, like little mountains. All right, sick, sick, sick. And if you want to know what the general Gondorian soldier looks like, these are their shields. Would you call that a kite shield? It just looks like a really long heater shield, and it has the typical Gondorian emblem of the white tree with the crown of Elendil on top and stars around it. Eh. And I think I see something over in the distance. We're not going to go through the southern gate just yet. We're not going to leave the walls just yet because I believe I found something over here. This might be a Gondorian village. Remember how we were in Rohan? I found that Rohirric village. This might be something similar. This isn't a fortified town. Like in Rune, we found something similar where there are the fortified towns or cities that have these big walls around them. Then you have these sort of agrarian settlements. And this agrarian settlement is called Fairfell. What a quaint name. And these are some farmhands. South Trons carry curved swords in the battle. Curved swords. Is that a Skyrim reference? You should not be that, like, impressed with them having curved swords. I mean, people in Mordor have curved swords. And you deal with Mordor people all the time. Well, Mordor people, orcs, same thing. Okay, let's throw our Gondorian chestplate here. And let's beef these together. Lasting and cooling. Perfect. I really like that. We got a crafting table. We got some meat. Whatever. Our horse is just going to chill in the center of town. And this is where all the soldiers hang out. The Welcoming Steward. I guess this is the place where if you're a soldier and after a long day of smacking some orcs around, it's time to get a drink. You go to the Welcome Steward in Fairfell. Fairfell's a very nice place. Maybe we should save this for future reference. I think that'd be a good idea. Raw rabbit. Oh, actually, we could sell. Let's see. Do we have any raw rabbit? We have raw chicken. And some raw pork chop. You can probably buy this. Pleasure doing business with you. Let's exchange some of our coins. Yeah, let's sell off some of that coal. Let's go to our materials. Let's make sure our coins are in the biggest denomination they can be, which should be in the scale of hundreds. Yeah, that should be 200 something. Here we go. And after that, I think we might just make a fast travel point here because I think it's worth it. I think it's worth making like Fairfell or some other village in the townlands. We have this big wall protecting us. I don't think we're going to run into too many nasties over here. We have a tavern to sell some easy to get resources. We have some small houses. We don't seem... Oh, they have their own little gardens back here. I like that. Houses are reasonably big. We don't seem to have a lot of, not a lot of industry here. I mean, we have that might be it, though. There's another house. There's a market stall in the center. You are a butcher, so you sell all kinds of meat. You have camel? I might want to buy some camel from you. You buy wheat and iron and salt. Wheat and salt, I think two things we might want to, give him. Throw him that way. I'll say, so there are smaller houses like this that do not have a garden behind them. Like we see here. These have some sticks, some olive bread, plums, whatever. And then you have the bigger houses, like these that have the gardens in the back. Cool, cool, cool. I would like to find a Gondorian village or place or whatever that actually has some, like maybe a blacksmith to buy from. But, it's not that big of a deal. Found a stable, though. That'll be useful. There's another village over that way. A neighboring village. And maybe they have a blacksmith. I think it's worth making this a fast travel point. I have the wall right there. We can maybe build across the wall. I think this is good. I think that Gondor, in terms of managed settlements, has next to Umbar, or next to some places in near Harad, some of the nicest fortified towns. But this village, this just agrarian place, it has an inn, Has a few big houses, some little houses. Not a lot of big farmland, but enough for people to get by. Got a stable. Pretty decent. I like it. And they have a village well. Let's save this. All right. I like this. I like this a lot. And I think we will find our horse that obviously ran away, as horses do. God dang it. I need to keep better tabs on that thing. I really do. But I think it's about time where we could get a... Yeah, let's get a bunch of quests from these dudes. Gondor bricks, spawn a Mordor. Let's get rid of the quests that are too far away. So I think that we can get rid of these two. Adrahil and Anardil. Adrahil, goodbye. Honoril. Gondorian Renegade sounds cool, not interested. Let's do things for the people of Fairfell. I think they deserve it, more than anyone else. I mean, they're short-staffed. They have levymen, a few soldiers. They don't have a really strong garrison here. I think we should help them out. That's what we should do. I think that's where we're going to end this episode. Next episode, I think we're going to take the road south. Or maybe we'll go... I think we're going to go south to Los Arnok, check this out. And then we'll cross east and maybe try and get to Ithilien. Maybe into Minas Morgul. I don't know how we can handle it. This horse is expendable. She's not our Rohirric beauty. So if she dies, we won't be that worse off for it. Alright, well, I'm glad we met the people of Fairfell. And as always, don't listen to Noldor propaganda. The kinslaying was not justified.